Shape, rhythm and colour, that's what my portraiture is all about. Hello, my name is Sophie McPike and I'm a freelance illustrator from Melbourne, Australia. In my class, you'll get to play with line, colour, shape and rhythm to create a really fun stylized portrait in Procreate. So get ready to have some fun and loosen up with me as we create a beautiful stylized portrait in Procreate. Let's begin. First, have your photo chosen, and I chose this picture of Janelle. Let's make her a little bit bigger so you can see her better. Let's have a look at some details that we've got. I chose this picture because it's got some really interesting shapes and lines and different rhythms and flows. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. I'm just going to pick a bold colour. There we go. So obviously the first line that we see is this one going across here. Let me pop a new layer on. This colour, this line going across here. And that is parallel with the shoulder line and this line and even the hairline. And then contradictory to that, we've got, let's pick a different colour. We've got the eye line and the mouth and nose line going down this way. The hair sweeps down that way. We can even probably just fudge that line going down like that. So already we've got some opposing lines and flow that sort of flow our eyes up and down the image. We can also look at these lines here. The flow up here is nice, and we can even like push that to look like that as well here, and then that also goes with the face lines. So we've got 3 points of balance going on: left, right, up and down. So that's what's going to help us come up with something really interesting, something that flows really nicely. So I'm just going to pull that off for now. Let's pop her back in the corner up here, because we want to focus on shape more than details at the moment. So I like to make my image nice and small, so I don't get too obsessed with detail. I'm going to do a little exercise now which helps me loosen up a lot. I will do a blind contour drawing. So what I'm going to do here is focus my eye only on the image and not look at what I'm drawing. So it's going to, because it's so close, I'm going to be able to see what I'm drawing, but my eye is going to be mainly focusing on this. And a tip I'm going to give you is I find it easier when you don't lift your pen off the page, and you basically just trace the outline of what you're doing with your eye. And I find that usually works better for more proportionate images, and it also keeps you wiggly and swirly and loose. So I'm just going to, I often start with the face shape, so I'm just going to go in, and it's quite quick and loose, and I'm just going to pop the face in, bit of hair. So I'm not looking at the actual drawing at all. I'm looking at the image, and I'm going to, just got a bit of texture on those ruffles, sleeve. And the fun bit about this is you come up with something really weird and silly and interesting. So that's kind of a cool image in its own right. Let's pop her away. Up here. I'll do another couple more of those because they're so fun. And maybe this time try and start from a different part. So I'm going to start down here on the arm, the sleeve. And sometimes when you do it like this, you can accidentally chop out bits of the person you're drawing, but that's okay, that's part of it. Or it forces you to make weird proportion choices. So I can see in my profiteries, oh no, I've made it go zigzaggy, that I'm close to the top. There we go. I didn't get to do the face. Let's just do a quick mini blind drawing of that right now. And there we go. I'm just going to pull her away now. Looks slightly scary. Okay, and I'll do one more of that. So I'm going to start from her mouth, I think, this time. And nose, eye. Don't worry about all the details. Just have fun with the shape. I'm really enjoying her curly hair at the moment. And I'm just almost letting my hand do the talking. I'm barely thinking at all, which is part of the fun. Because sometimes as an illustrator, as an artist, your head gets in the way a little bit. So it's nice to just let your hand and heart lead. Cool. Now, next exercise, I'm going to try and come up with an overall shape that I'm interested in, something that's got some really nice rhythm and balance to it. So I might just start similar to the exercise we did down here, the first exercise, but sort of like merging a little bit more looseness in. So I'm really liking this shape here of that sleeve, so I'm going to have a bit of that, and the S curve of the top, and that flumpy bit down there, and there's a bit of direction going with the folds of the dress. Just being super loose. And sometimes when you're really loose and you let your hands do the talking, you get these interesting shapes which you wouldn't have ever really thought of doing originally when your brain was in control. So that's really nice. And because we're stylizing a portrait as well, have fun with proportions. So, and pushing components of the drawing.